Hey guys, welcome back. It's Wednesday. How's your week going? Mine's going okay. It's nice and sunny over here. We have two kind of bigger stories today. Well, not really bigger, I guess kind of more investigations into the state of things. The first one is a deeper look into these consumption sites, which has actually been written into the New York bill. So they're getting more popular, more and more popular, and it's seeming like there is going to be a bigger boom of them around the country, which seems pretty cool. Judging from experience, I'm here in LA, in West Hollywood, and around 2019, things seem to be picking up in terms of consumption sites. There was a place opening up near me called Lowell Cafe. It had a whole crap load of reservations. I actually wasn't able to get one. However, then I looked into it, and Lowell Cafe had a lot of trouble getting started in the first place because of all the restrictions that are given to businesses based on smoking indoors, and then combining that with food. So it makes sense that there was just a whole lot of hurdles that they had to cross to even open up in the first place. They ended up doing so by creating a solution of having 3 separate rooms, one where you could eat, one where you could have edibles and smoke and things, and then there was a patio area as well. I haven't been, so I don't really know. It seems really cool. And then of course 2020 came around, and they have been closed ever since, just like most places. So felt like the trajectory was 2019 being this time where consumption sites were actually starting to really blow up and become popular, especially here in LA. And then everything just dropped off a cliff in 2020. So we're kind of seeing momentary picking up the pieces now, where, like I said before, New York is put it into the bill that there are going to be consumption sites. Massachusetts is dealing with the problem of people, especially tourists, smoking in alleyways and things like that. So more consumption sites will pop up there. There are some in the San Francisco area. There are a whole bunch in Colorado. It's getting more and more popular. But really the biggest problem and the biggest question for the entire thing is there even a demand for this? Are people actually wanting to go out in public and smoke weed when they are so used to getting high at home on their couch and not having to worry about, stepping outside and getting back to safety? And this is an open question. We don't really know. There haven't been enough consumption sites to actually judge and see what makes a successful one and what makes an unsuccessful one. I myself would probably not want to go to one because I like getting high very in a cocoon in just like my bedroom and not having anyone around. I wouldn't be the market for something like this. I think it's more targeted towards tourists, people who are going to a city who maybe don't have legal marijuana in their hometown and are going to Boston or going to Denver or wherever and want to smoke weed, yet don't want to bring it back to their Airbnb or their hotel because they're not allowed. That would probably be the best reason for it, but also really limits the amount of consumption sites that would be successful.
So easy, tell me, how is your life as a youngster?
Ruthless. My style is a juvenile, ran with a gang, slanged in the meanwhile, banking. I specialize in danking, white, Mexican brothers and others, daily. It's all about coming up, making sure no punks are running up. I'm a gangster having fun.
So that's consumption sites. We'll see. Hopefully this year a lot will pop up. The next story is about weed stocks and kind of seeing where they are. It's been a bit of a roller coaster for the entire industry ever since the beginning of this year. It basically started around the time Biden was inaugurated, and there was all of this hoopla and excitement for potentially a Democrat being in the office and legalization being right around the corner federally. And so it started to go up, and then of course the whole Wall Street Bets army kind of got behind it and just made almost every weed stock just skyrocket in price. And a lot of people, if they probably timed it right, they would have made a whole bunch of money on it. So good for them. Now, after that entire thing happening, it has pretty much tanked from its higher highs. However, it's still, or most weed stocks still are higher than they were before. This includes places like Canopy Growth, Tilray, Aphria, Kronos Group, Hexo, Sundial Growers, and Organigram. Although there's an article I just read today from Investor Place that was kind of saying these stocks basically need legalization to have another big bump, because in terms of their actual business and in terms of like their actual valuation, it is still probably overvalued. For instance, Kronos Group, they have a gross loss of now $20.5 million and has risen $8 million just last year. And a lot of that can be credited to the pandemic and not as many people going out and buying things. But also, an $8 million loss in 1 year is huge, especially for something growing like Kronos Group. I'll put the link to the article in the description, but they're basically saying that all of these places are overvalued now. There might be just kind of a slow decline throughout the year unless something like legalization happens and there's another big spike. And that spike is probably going to be short term. So if you're a day trader, that sounds great. And if you're not a day trader and you're really looking for the longevity of these groups, you're going to want to definitely check them out and maybe think twice before you put a whole bunch of money behind them. So that's kind of that. I'm going to be out of town on Friday, so I won't be here, but I'll be back on Monday to kind of see what happened over the weekend in the world of weed. So see you then.
This is my late night about to go smoke outfit. Nothing matches. I just got weed delivered.
And I'm about to go get high.